My name is Morgan Diann, and I'm born and raised in Chattanooga. Yeah, so I got started when I was 15. I started doing commissions and selling at pop-ups when I was 16, 17, and I just haven't stopped since. My art mediums are paintings and printmaking. I think my inspiration has changed a lot during the pandemic. I needed my art to be one thing pre-pandemic, and it's grown a lot since the pandemic started. So right now my art is very much inspired by like the Renaissance, some classical paintings, and kind of the irony of some very big nude paintings being at a very conservative time. And I kind of incorporate that in a more subtle way, I think. My work is important to me because it is an aspect of myself, and it is a part of my identity, really. And even, very minimal monochrome pieces, they have a really in-depth meaning behind them, and depending on which piece. And I think it is important because I've already seen other people finding their own meanings in them. A lot of people don't know, because I have never talked about it or posted about it, is that my monochrome pieces are inspired by a near-death experience, about having a very terrifying time, but also there being layers to it in the moment, and being able to feel a lot of fear, but also a weird sense of peace. And so that is what inspired the monochrome, especially that piece is very wrapped up in fear, but also beauty and cycle of life kind of thing. Yes, I think right at the beginning of lockdown, I kind of deconstructed who I was creatively pretty early on, and completely dissolved what I had been doing previously, because I think a lot of things melted away during the pandemic, and it really brought me back to what really matters to me as an artist. And I kind of stripped away all of the excess that was kind of distracting me, and really focused in on a really more direct creative vision. Yes, so I actually decided to go full-time last year, which might have not been the greatest decision, but I was like, let's do this. So it's really forced me to structure myself a little bit more. Obviously, having children too during a pandemic throws a wrench in things as well, with unpredictability. So it really forced me to set hours and tune in, and find ways to tune in a little bit better. So I really started putting more time into an online presence, because I wasn't able to physically show my work, but I also just had more time to work on pieces because I wasn't working for the next show, because there was no show scheduled. So I think it really affected my time management. I think so, from my perspective at least, because I do large-scale paintings and murals. I think people put more value into what's around them, because it was really easy to get really down because you weren't going, and so people started caring more about what art is in their house, if it's giving them anything, or if it just looks pretty, which is okay too. And then I noticed a lot of businesses were also focusing on, with people coming back into the office, of how to make it a little bit more fun. For me personally, and it might be because I have shared some about my experiences as parenting a high-risk child during the pandemic, I think people really got to see a side of myself as a parent and not just an artist. And now they kind of understand why I do things the way I do and why I'm structured the way I'm structured. And they got a glimpse into some of the depth behind it as well. To keep going, even if it's just, a sketchbook while your kid's napping or you're doing a big, 10-foot piece, just keep going and keep pushing and putting in the time and the hours to better your skill set, but also really say what you want to say with your artwork. I've got big plans for the next year. A lot of murals and bigger shows in the works. So yeah, to be continued. My Instagram is Diann Art, nothing funky. It's just straightforward. And then I have a website, and it's morgandiann.com. Thanks for having me. Thank you. I know, it's so nice to finally be able to get out and do things like this again. So